Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Bahamut, your caster this evening. We are going to be having a Division B matchup. On the left-hand side, we'll be having 104, and on the right, it is going to be... Oh, I'm blanking out on the name, of course. Beast Coast. I was just like, no, not that one, not that one. I was like, we got games later, it's not those either. All right, but we are going to be having 104 versus Beast Coast. Coin flip was going to be, it was won by 104. They went ahead and chose map pick. They banned out Braxis Holdout, and BOE was then banned out by Beast Coast. Dragonshire is going to be map number 2, chosen by Beast Coast. First map is chosen by 104. And then we'll be taking us to the Tomb of the Spider Queen, and they're going to take out the Rainer as well as this Rainer's going to be taken out on the side of Beast Coast, and 104 are going to be taking out that Asmodan. Very, very strong on a map like this. The clear factor is huge, as well as just the time it takes to stack up your Globe of Annihilation is so very quick, so not surprised to see that being banned out. But at the same time, Beast Coast, they don't want to deal with the Kael'thas, and that's often something we see in the rotations as we get someone calling for a Murky ban in our chat, and I absolutely already love that because, please, I mean, what was it, last week? Actually, Cigar being banned out? Interesting. What was it? 8-second death timer? What division was that? I can't remember. I'm already losing track of... Yeah, I'm already losing track of what I've casted. My notebook's already getting full of notes from that. But Scar being banned out, strong in the solo lane, has a great vision for the friendly team, as well as has some great wave clear and push. Deckard Cain, though, going to be picked up as the first pick for the members of Beast Coast, and how can you blame them in this situation with the Deckard Cain offering so much in the rotational value between the top and mid, with the potions that can be dropped in between those lanes, as well as the lockdown and slow he provides is huge. They're going to have the Joanna and the Phoenix being picked up on the side of 104. Joanna's strong on this map as well as Phoenix in that rotation, but the thing is, Phoenix can be played in that solo lane, so they can be kind of flexing a little bit at this point. And then we're going to be having the Ragnaros and Diablo picked out on the side of Beast Coast. Now, Ragnaros, on a map like this, I love it. Hey, Trap, thank you for coming by, checking out the stream. Glad to see someone cheering for the friendly teams. That's absolutely amazing. I don't know, I absolutely love it when I see people cheering for the teams. But that will be Jaina being banned out on the side of 104, taking out a little bit more of that wave clear from Beast Coast. And at this point, I would maybe expect a support choke. Something like the Alexstrasza wouldn't be horrible. Malfurion is still okay. Ice Block being taken away kind of hinders him a little bit, so he's fallen off a bit, but they will take out that Stukov. And Stukov has had some changes come through recently, and I was actually playing around with him a little bit earlier, and I was just kind of like reading through the talents and just seeing what's up. Siege, what is up? Go key in front. Hey, there you go. We got cheers for both teams already. I don't know, Stukov is extremely powerful at this point, but I still wouldn't be too opposed to the Alexstrasza. I think she's really, really strong on this map. On almost a map, she feels extremely strong. It's going to be the Thrall and the Lucio. Lucio, I wouldn't say has fallen off. It's just been kind of not played as... it's the same thing as what I'm just already saying. Reese Ejacula. Bahaja. What's up, Simon? Thanks for coming by. You're fine. Hey, Kaibo Tripson. Thank you. Oh, Kaibo Tripson cheering for both teams. Look at that. And 104 coming out with some target bans, actually. But this will be the Diablo. Ooh, the Blaze for the solo lane, the Gul'dan for the wave clear. I like this. Ragnaros is still strong. You could put the Ragnaros in the solo lane, but I guess they're going to be going for the rotational advantage with that. But the one thing I was going to note with the Lucio is something that's kind of fallen off a little bit, mostly because of the fact that there's just stronger heroes that are out. But in this map where rotations are huge and you're going to be team fighting a lot, Break It Down is a huge pickup. And the Rag, I'm not too opposed on Ragnaros. Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity a little bit. Towers, like, he's got a spot on almost every map. Like, the main one, this one is, if he Molten Cores on the center fort, he's got a pivot point to basically every lane. He can poke out into and defend during the web weaver phases very, very well from that center point. And even then, he's just got great denial into any sort of push into a fort or even a keep. And so denying that's a huge, huge aspect for these teams. Does 104 not like Jaina? That's possible. The big thing with Jaina, though, is she's strong in the wave clear on this map. And the other thing, too, with Jaina is that she pairs well into Phoenix. Phoenix gets a lot of benefit from slows, for example, like Thrall with Earthquake. You then look at the Purification Salvo, and that will be going ahead and getting bonus damage, bonus burst. And as I said, you're going to be fighting. So if Key can go ahead and get a Key break it down... I hate myself for that. If you can get a nice break it down, that is... That's just a big advantage in this situation to just kind of delay out the fight. They can step a little bit farther forward and ruin the day for Beast Coast, but we'll have to find out here. Not really sure who kind of takes it overall. I do like I like the Gul'dan. I didn't really talk about that much in draft. The big thing with the Gul'dan is actually it offers in a huge aspect of boss control with the Horrify, as well as just the peel that you can get if Gul'dan maybe gets out of position, or if they step a little too far forward, they can really punish that with that Horrify, separating the enemy team. I doubt we'll see a Reign of Destruction, but you know what? We can hope for it. All right, we'll be... I was like, am I the slow one? No, okay. I'm not the slow one. Oof. I get worried. I'm just like, we're getting a little bit of a storm outside. All right. Thrall solo lane. Yes. It would be the Thrall in the solo lane or the Phoenix, to be honest. But we'll find out here as we have 104 on the left-hand side with Leo Rice going to be on that Phoenix. Dan OP going to be on the Maiev. We'll be having Key on that Lucio. Sheepfu going to be on the Thrall, and Linkin Park on the Joanna. And on the right-hand side, we are going to be having Beast Coast with Sears going to be on the Gul'dan. Monkus going to be on the Ragnaros. Lotharian going to be on that Diablo. Suppagoat going to be on the Deckard Cain, and Mig going to be on that Blaze. I was just like, yes, no? All right, let's take a peek. Thrall actually going to the Echoed Elements. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Thrall actually in the solo lane, as you mentioned in Twitch chat. Oh, serious on Gul'dan. Okay, okay. Mage Choke, yeah, I can agree with that. Taking out the Kael'thas as well as the Jaina offers a ton. The other thing too is Jaina just pairs well with the Phoenix, and that's a big amount of their wave clear. But we will be having a little bit of a brawl breaking out here. Dan OP getting out of there at the last second. Lotharian a little far forward. Sheepfu going to go ahead and get a little bit of poking out, but that will be Thrall going to the solo lane into this Blaze. We'll see how this works out. I don't know how I feel about this. Some would say that Blaze would out-sustain and out-push just overall into the Thrall, but we'll find out as long as Sheepfu is proccing out as much as possible. That's the big thing. But we'll keep an eye on that as we do have these rotations breaking, and this is the big thing that we want to be watching for. Actually, the other thing too is Ragnaros didn't go into Sulfur's Hunkers at level 1, opting out for some. It's Engulfing Flame. Okay, I was like Eternal Flame. That's not right. We do have that nice Shadow Charge coming out from Lotharian, just making sure that they stay with the friendly team. Lockdown going to be coming out from Deckard Cain. Also going to be looking for those Scroll of Sealing stacks to just hit that 20 mark to also get the armor reduction onto enemy members. Linkin Park being targeted quite a bit here. That will be a 2-member root. Lotharian a little bit low. That will be a Q reset for Dan OP, getting that Fan of Knives off. And it looks like Monkus is getting... Oh, the trade. Maiev for the Ragnaros. Meanwhile, though, in bottom, looks like Mig. I'm gonna say Mig. Mig is. I can't say all those M's because I keep forgetting. Just like Mig. It's just weird. All right, but Mig is going to be in this bottom lane, just still clearing out, pushing out quite a bit. Thrall will go ahead and get that turn and rotate right back in there. Meanwhile, though, back into this top lane, we do have the rotations continuing out. 2-to-1 in kills, a little bit of an experience advantage for the members of 104 here, as they are going to be hitting 4s slightly before Beast Coast, but it's still an even game. Turn-in looks like it's actually even still on gems as well, just the turn-in's a little bit more in favor for the members of Beast Coast, actually. And overall, just rotations between the lanes, checking down in bottom lane. Sheepfu going to be working on Mig here a little bit. And kind of winning out the lane a little bit, at least in the brawl aspect, but running low on mana and going to have to adjust that fairly soon, as we will be getting these rotations coming right back out into the top lane here. We have Lotharian looking for a pick. Going to get some body blocks out onto the Joanna, but won't be enough as they get the clear. They back right out of here and continue to soak up for gems as well as for levels. They're all continuing to push in every so often, making sure they don't have a big economy of gems and then just losing out on that. That's a huge aspect that you do not want to miss out on, because that really starts kind of, I wouldn't say it starts the snowball, but it gives your enemy the opportunity to start really, you know, growing that gap in the economy of gems, as well as even then levels too, because if you get multiple turn-ins in a row, that is a huge benefit to team, as we do have that Iron Skin going to be popped from Linkin Park. He's going to keep them alive also with that boost out with some speed. Overall though, turn-in from the members of Beast Coast. They will have the opportunity for this. Actually, both teams have the opportunity for the Webweaver turn-in phase here, as Meg is going to be pushing Sheepfu in this bottom lane a little bit, as I noted, though. Going to be sustaining through this. They both have great sustain. They're all going ahead and proccing those Frostwolf stacks just to make sure that they get that little bit of self-heal. But we actually have a pull-in onto Munkus here, and this could be a bad spot for the Ragnaros. They're trying to stay alive, but it won't be enough. That will be a kill going out in favor for the members of 104. Maiev not going to be stepping out with that blink. And that is going to be the sending Webweavers in this top lane, mid lane, and bottom lane. But are they going to prioritize the top is the question. Typically, this is what we see teams do, because of the fact that it's the boss lane. This is often the win condition. Actually getting the overpower onto Dan OP, but they will have the vault out. That is going to be a huge root from Suppagoat, but it's not going to be, there's no follow-up damage. There will be some poke out from the Ghoul Dan, but overall, they're not looking to be able to do too much. They are also, to note, they are whittling down this Webweaver, has just taken out the gate. They've taken out the sidewalls a little bit, and it looks like they'll leave it alone. It's not going to get the full burn, but the thing is they just rotate in the mid. This has been stacked and pushed up. They're already really far forward here. Might get pulled out if they can get the Umbra Bind, and that is going to be connecting. Lock going to be going out from the Decker Cane. Ragnaros is going to be popping that Molten Core. This is the big defense that I was talking about. You can make sure that you deny any sort of forts being fallen here, as well as utilizing this pivot point to just continue to push out waves. You can see on the mini-map here, there's a huge kind of thin red line, and that definitely shows off the radius here of how the extent of Ragnaros on that Molten Core, and why I was talking about mid lane being so important for Munkus in this game. As Linkin Park going to step up, they want to deny the turn-in. That's the big thing here, is making sure that they don't allow them to get this turn-in. Gonna use that shield glare to deny that as well. Suppagoat gonna be trying to do the same thing. Dan OP gonna be back at this time. I think they went back for a little bit of health. Umbra Bind gonna be connecting, but not gonna get the pull. They're getting resets off the Fan of Knives just to get some slashing damage out there. But overall, this is just gonna be a holdout on the turn-in, as also Thrall will be finishing that Echo of Elements level 1 questing talent so very quickly. 5 minutes into the game, 6 minutes into the game. But still, that's so quick to have that done, and just to have that bonus and benefit. Fan of Knives resets not going to be happening, but they continue to soak here, and they also continue to deny the turn-in. They're getting fairly close, if I'm not mistaken. I think they only need 5 more on the side of 104, as Beast Coast is taking a bit of an engage here. There is going to be Lotharian getting the repositioning onto Dan OP with that overpower, and that is going to be the kill that they need in this situation to allow them to get this turn-in. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them just go for that, but actually they want to go for more, as Leo Rice is a little bit low. They do get... Oh, Lotharian is getting a bit low here, but the friendly team is keeping them just fine. Linkin Park gonna get repositioned there. They don't get a kill in response to the Maiev death, but at the same time, Beast Coast is going to go ahead and get this turn-in, so they get a kill and a turn-in, and this is looking fairly good for the members of Beast Coast. Bottom lane continues to be the eternal struggle between these two. The one thing I will note is that Thrall really hasn't got much push into Meg in this bottom lane, and Meg is actually opening up quite a bit. We'll see how that works out. But actually, top lane's going to be our fun little area, as we have 10s achieved almost simultaneously here. I'm just looking... Actually, Containment is going to be coming out from the Maiev, so we're not going to be getting the Warden's Cage, which is often something we see. Ragnar's going to be opting for that Lava Wave, going to be pushing that down the mid lane. That will be the Horrify coming out onto a couple members. Linkin Park a little bit low. Lornado going to be coming out to zone them away, make sure that they do not get back to the friendly team, but that's going to be happening. Now, I will say this, while all this poke has been happening and all this push into lane, I will say that they got a bit more of a push than the members of 104 here, as we're going to be rotating back into the mid lane. Linkin Park gonna get Shadow Charge. They're actually taking quite a bit of damage here. The Iron Skin's gonna have to be popped, as that will be the Web Weaver phase ending for the members of East Coast. But the thing is, there is turn-ins for both teams, and back-to-back turn-ins of Web Weavers is a huge start and a strong start. The other thing to note, experience. Oh, ho, ho. Bunker gonna be coming out. They won't be able to make this rotation in time. This is going to be a dead blaze. They deny 10 gems, which also denies them the turn-in. If they actually turned and just turned this into the top lane, that'd be huge for them. But that won't be happening, as this will be a Web Weaver phase. Oh, unless they catch the Thorian. We actually have Dan OP stepping out. The Umbral Bind isn't going out just yet. That will be connecting onto a couple. There is also going to be the Purification Salvo coming out as well. There is a little bit of a late Earthquake from that Purification Salvo. Leroy Rice so low here, they're going to be almost getting out. Key is going to be falling here, as well as Phoenix. They get 2 off of that, and that was a bit of a greedy chase that did not work out for them. It looks like, though, they still have their Joanna up. She's holding 49 of the 61 gems that the team currently has, but this is going to be the turn-in that they need. They only need 1 extra one. Blaze will be able to secure that in this mid lane. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them go for that turn-in as soon as possible, especially with the 2 members just coming back. This is their kind of window to go ahead and get that in there, and that's going to be exactly the play. Joanna maybe going to be able to deny it. They're not in position just yet. We'll have to see. This is going to be a bit of a race. What color? It's blue. Oh, that sneaky turn-in at the last second just got them so much on the side of 104. I absolutely love that play. Currently going to have the back off from Leo Rice. Lava Wave did go through the top lane, but a little bit early. Not going to be doing any damage to the Web Weavers here, as they are descending into the lanes at this point. Top lane pushed out a bit here, and this mid lane is going to be descending quite far. A lot of damage coming up from the School Dane at this time. That damage over time is huge for them. Stepping up, though, a little bit further. They're looking for a couple of the members. That will be the Ragnaros popping the Molten Core. Linkin Park in a really bad spot. That is also going to be the Break It Down used, but it's not going to be in time or in range, and that will be the Lucio falling as well. So they get this Web Weaver turn-in phase, but the thing is, they're not getting the value they want out of this, as mid lane was denied any value. Top lane is just going to be crashing at this point. The clear on this should be fairly quick. They won't be losing the fort, I do believe. And then meanwhile, in bottom lane, Meg is just going to clear this out just fine. I don't think they can go for any sort of aggressive rotation onto the Blazes. They do have the Jet Propulsion out, but Dan OP looking for the Umbra Bind, chasing a bit far out. Going to get Shadow Charged by Diablo. Vault of the Warren's going to be out there. The Overpower's there as well. Double members are going to be hit by this Umbra Bind, but they're starting to turn around with the team, and Dan OP is getting out, but will the damage of the overtime be enough to get the kill? Shadow Charge in, the Fire Stomp, but even then the damage over time got the kill for Sierras, as we continue to just have Beast Coast show up and be the beast that they are, and really just turning every fight in their favor. They'll go ahead and get this Web Weaver turn-in phase. The waves are fairly even between both lanes. Did I say BOE? Sorry, I just looked over at Twitch chat and I was like, Muhammad, this isn't BOE. I'm like, no, BOE was banned out. Did I read it wrong? My mistake if I did. But we'll go ahead and have this Web Weaver phase in favor for the members of Beast Coast. They will start to push down this bottom lane, not prioritizing the top. They will utilize that Ragnaros Lava Wave for the top lane to get that push out, and the nice timing there will get the minions that just spawned from the core. So a nice clear into the top lane. We can just see how stacked up it already is with the Web Weaver and the minion wave there. And they rotate into mid, maybe looking for a flank onto the enemy team. Key going to be just getting out of there just fine, and they're actually going to stall. They're going to wait a couple more seconds here. I thought they would be going for a little bit more, but actually the Web Weaver on top is going to be cleared out, and it's not going to get the fort. Bottom lane is going to be cleared out by the Jonah as well as the gate. 13 to 15 in levels, though. This game is starting to get a little bit, I would say snowbally, but starting to go in favor for the members of Beast Coast fairly well, as Sheepfu is going to get caught out here, and this is what I'm talking about here, is just the gank that they're getting. Some of these ganks that they're getting are these kills that just are staggered out at the last second, and they drop a few too many gems. those are the situations that are just, it hurts. It hurts so much to watch. But I gotta say, Beast Coast playing a really strong game here at the start. I like this rotation. They got the pick onto Thrall. They took out the top 4. They know that they have 16s. They've also got Horrify on the Gul'dan. They can go ahead, and if anyone tries to step up to them, they've got the Horrify to deny that, then they can move on for a potential kill. They do have that talent here, so often we do see a little bit of a stronger fight coming out from them. But I do like this at the same time. 104, they know that they don't have any sort of fight potential, so they will go ahead and get a little bit of pressure into the bottom lane with that Siege Giant, but 14 to 16. Oof. I'm not sure about this. Not sure about this defense. We'll see, as we are going to be getting the root coming out. No blink forward from Maiev at this time. Dan OP just going to try and get some resets on the Fan of Knives. Lava Wave going to be going bottom lane to clear out the Giants as best they can. There is going to be Lord Nado coming out, but they'll split right around it. They do not want to get hit by that. We're going to be going out onto Sheepfu. Some damage going to be coming out from Gul'dan as well. Lithorian looking for that throw once again. The Lightning Breath will be coming out. The Horrify is going to be there as well. No one has died just yet. There is also the Containment Disc that comes out from Dan OP onto Diablo, but they're looking at Sheepfu, and that is going to be the kill onto the Thrall. Meanwhile, the rest of the members are fairly healthy on the side of Beast Coast, and they're going to step up a little bit further here, getting a little low. Maiev not going to be charging in too far. We do have the Break It Down utilized from Lucio just to keep Linkin Park alive, as well as popping the Iron Skin there. But it looks like at this point they will be backing off. Not even the shielding has fallen off the core. 56 gems out of 60 necessary for the members of Beast Coast. They only need 3 lanes, roughly. It's like 2.25. Something like that. Caster math. But right now it'd be 2.3 repeating because you get 3 gems per yeah, okay, there we go. 2.3 waves. And then they'll go ahead and get this turn in. I wouldn't be too surprised to see there be a high priority onto pushing out the top lane as quickly as possible, because you don't want those web weavers to descend as close to your core as possible. Meanwhile, though, they've got the turn-in available, and they're just going to add some pressure here. Meg is the one who just needs to turn in with just the 2 gems, and so they'll go ahead and open this up a little bit more. And I got to say, playing with the advantage that you have, and this is great. Some teams, I do see that a lot of teams will not take that kind of pressure right there because of the fact that it's that close to 16, so they're going to get it regardless. And then if you stagger a death, you've got your web weavers, but you can't really push in too far with it. I like this party bush, though. Trying to catch them as they go a little bit too far out. Linkin Park, though, going to be shadow charged on, but they popped the Iron Skin. That's the big thing, too. They popped Iron Skin. They don't have that. Web Weaver in the top lane. Looks like they want to take this win condition here with this. Lava Wave going to be going into bottom just to try and pressure that out a little bit further. They're walking around this keep. I think Ragnaros should have Molten Core up by now, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least fairly soon. They've walked this Web Weaver up to the core. They're starting to chase this out a little bit here. Purification Salvo going to be coming out to a couple of members. The Horrify is going to be there as well. That will also be a Lightning Breath with a couple of people stuck in this corner. Knockback from the Lucio will be there just to help Diablo, or to help the team get away from Diablo, but that is going to be Dan OP getting body blocked. Lithorian looking for another kill. It's not going to be happening as Dan OP gets into the Nexus. Molten Core going to be popped at this time. They will step up onto this core with 2 dead. East Coast want to take this and make this a win for themselves on this map number 1 and 2 in the Spider Queen, but they want to fight this a little bit more on the side of 104 as Dan OP stepping up, getting a huge Umbra Bind that will be key, dropping the Break It Down, but the rest of the team is kind of ignoring them a little bit and saying, you know, we just want to hit the core. Reset after reset, though, going to be coming up from Dan OP as Joanna will be falling at this time. I don't know if they're going to be able to defend this as we have the Web Weaver from the mid lane coming in as well as the bottom. The GGs are called out, and that is going to be game number 1 going over in favor for the members of Beast Coast. GG. Well played. Well, let's go ahead and get into this. Just to recap for anyone who missed it in game number 1, 104 won the coin flip. They chose map pick and then banned out Brax's Holdout. Battlefield of Eternity was banned out by Beast Coast. Game number 2, which is Dragonshire, picked by Beast Coast. And game number 1 was chosen by 104, and that was Tomb of the Spider Queen, which was actually won by Beast Coast. So Beast Coast now going to their map of choice. Once again, though, banning out that Esmond, they do not want to deal with it. And how can you blame them? Just the dunks. The dunks are just extremely so good. Question is, I was like, do we just get another Rainer ban out? And that's going to be the exact situation. Is they're gonna ban out Rainer. They're not going to want to deal with that. And who can blame them? If played really, really right and macroed the Rainer's Raiders, it is a nightmare to deal with. So not too surprised by that ban out at this time. Do they ban out like Deckard or Diablo? No, they're gonna ban out Zagara once again. They're alright with just banning out those two specials. They just do not want to deal with that pressure in the lane. Unless it's just known that Beast Coast play a phenomenal Azmodan and Zagara. That might be something that we'll have to find out in the winner's interview from this game. From honestly either team. Silverjack. Thank you so much for the, or excuse me, Silver Jackal. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. How are you doing this evening?
Do your worst.
You were out first pick, okay. Solo lane is a highly contested area on this map, and I can see that. But they're going to go ahead and lock in the 1-2 once again. They'll lock in the Diablo and the Deckard Cain. Question is, do they go for the Phoenix and a main tank, or what do they go for here? You're all strong in the top lane to start. Often on this map, we see things like Joanna going into the Deckard and the Diablo. I don't hate the Joanna, but they're gonna go for the Murden and the Stukov. Okay, Stukov strong on point control maps. I was actually semi-expecting Alistraza, but we did see the ban on the Stukov last game, so it might be a more highly contested pick on the side of 104 for that Stukov. Might be a more comfortable hero for them. But at this point, just taking out the damage I think is big. So once again, banning out the Jaina is my personal choice here. Ooh, Genji though. They want to get rid of the hyper mobility. Genji does offer quite a bit into this map with that, you know, aspect itself right there, just being able to rotate between lanes with the cyber agility as well as the swift strike and getting poke damage out with the shuriken. I don't hate the ban at all. But at this point, they'll still need a solo laner, and banning out something that goes strong into the Urel wouldn't be horrible. I would actually like to see a Blaze ban. Oh. They go for the global threat. Okay. I was just gonna note that MIG on the Blaze in the last game was pretty powerful, so I don't know if that's something that I guess they feel comfortable going into. They could pick it up. I'm not sure myself, to be honest. There's the Jaina. And there's Phoenix. That makes complete sense. Jaina, Phoenix, Diablo, that is and even Deckard Cain. That's that core four, that's such a strong synergy. And around Purification Salvo, Ring of Water Elemental, actually, I wouldn't be too surprised to see here for the extra damage. The stacking actually got kind of adjusted, so it actually benefits the Water Elemental a lot more. These last two picks, they're going to need to... Okay. That is a mage that I have not seen in quite some time. Kael Thuzad is going to be making an entrance into this game. Oh, I am loving it. And then Ragnaros picked up once again. So they changed like two things out of their draft. At this point, though, they're going to be having the Phoenix solo into the Urel, which I'm a little worried about. Phoenix Garrosh, please. Unfortunately, it's not going to be Phoenix. To be honest, the Ragnaros pick is a bit odd to me. Yes, you can get some denial with it. Yes, you can get some value, but the thing is, like, all right, you pop Molten Core, Dragonite just rotates lane. He just gets right out of there, and he's just like, I'm all right. Like, I'll just go into this bottom lane while you have Molten Core. Now, granted, Molten Core, I do believe, has a pivot point, much like on Tomb of Spider Queen, where if you go into mid, you can defend your towers within that range. But still, it's just, oh, whoa, 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 broiled beef. Thank you so much for the host. Welcome to all 26 of you. Let me quickly just go ahead and update the score, as I haven't done that yet. Thank you so much for that, Kylo Tripson. I did not pay attention to that, but thank you. But yeah, broiled beef, thank you so much for that, host. Welcome, everyone. We are currently getting into game number 2 between these two teams, and I cannot wait for it. Let's find out here if 104 can even the series out, or if Beast Coast will be taking 2 games. Lincoln Park going to be playing the Muradin, Sheepfu going to be on that Urel, he is going to be on the Stukov, Dan LP will be on the Greymane, and Leo Rice going to be on the Kale through Zod. And on the right-hand side, can they take a 2-0? Mega's going to be on the Phoenix. Monkus will be on the Ragnaros. Sears is going to be on the Deckard Cain. Sepulka going to be on the Jaina. Lotharian going to be on the Diablo. This is going to be Beast Coast. I'm sorry, I'm just... Their Gul'dan and... The Gul'dan from last game switched with the Deckard Cain from last game. Sepulka played Deckard last game, and Sears played Gul'dan last game. Interesting. Some role swaps here, some comfortability between members being able to pick out different heroes. I like this. I like this as a start. Going off a little bit of they're not one tricks on heroes, and they can kind of switch it around a little bit here. At this point though, we are going to be having that e-build out once again from Monkus, and as I saw in chat really quickly, Art doesn't beat Urel. I think Artanis could make a case. What it boils down to at that point, I think is a lot of the situational things where it's like, well, is the player better? Because that's another thing too. I've beaten Urels with Artanis. Yeah, exactly. Like you could have a Urel that's not the best Urel in the world, and just absolutely get pushed in. I mean, we'll see here. Sheepfu currently getting pushed in a little bit by Mig, and gonna have that wave clear option as well with the Arsenal Synergy at 1, correct? Yes. And so being able to get those autos off and then being able to clear the wave fairly quickly is going to be powerful. Now, we will have these camps almost simultaneously picked up. We do have Lincoln Park going to get some poke damage out. Just we have Deckard Cain with the zoning roots. But that is going to be the camps grabbed almost simultaneously. And we will be having this first Shrine phase activating in just a moment. Peek back up into this top lane between Mig and Sheepfu, as this is probably going to be what a lot of you want to be checking out. And really quickly, one Mega Man fan, thank you so much for the host. Welcome everybody to the stream. We are currently in game number 2 between 104 versus Beast Coast, and this is a Division B matchup as we have the Shadow Charge coming in from Lotharian. There is the available cap for the members of Beast Coast, but Dan OP diving in on that Greymane, gonna get locked down by the Deckard Cain this time. Lincoln Park trying to deny them the channel, and that Stormbolt will slow it down for a hot second, not allowing them to do it. They will control bottom lane. Meanwhile, though, top, Sheepfu between Mig is getting pushed back a little bit here. Not losing out the lane, but definitely going to need to tap that well, as we will see how they survive. And this bottom, though, I saw a lot of portraits stacking up, and I was like, oh, Leo Rice is about to pop off. Not making connections on a couple of these necessary chains and stacks, but it's not going to be I was like, ooh, they're about to get the channel. Not going to be happening anytime soon. So no Dragonite just yet. Some damage going to be going on to Lotharian, and a nice root coming out. The sound's going to be coming out from Stukov as well. He getting a great lurking arm out, and just going to be trying to get the pustule over to the friendly team. That will be happening as well. All 4 members will survive. Lincoln Park going to be, oh, I thought that the scroll ceiling was going to get him. Dan OP in a little bit of a bad spot, not able to really get through the enemies here, but the thing is, at the same time, Lotharian a little bit low. They continue to hold over bottom lane. Top lane was actually picked up by Mig as well. Sheepfu going to be trying to pick this up and deny it. The blink in. Some aggressive play coming out. That is actually going to be Diablo falling in the bottom lane. Greymane going to be falling in the bottom as well. I was like, oh, we can just give over the 2 kills. Maybe we'll be seeing a death between these two in the top lane. But I apologize for that. We actually just see Mig getting knocked back, and going to go ahead and just get denied that. But we do have those 2 pickups in favor for the members of... oh, yeah. Oh, in favor for 104. Okay. I was just like, wait a minute. They only lost their Greymane, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Top lane going to be held over once again, though, by Mig. Mid lane. Pings are coming in. No one going for it just yet. Going to be denied in that top lane from Sheepfu into Mig up there. Let's go ahead and just take a peek as this is going to be this back and forth between the two. Mig going to get a lot of value with that level 1 Arsenal synergy. Going to be really poking out here and there into these brawls. We do have a bit of a chase. Linkin Park separated from team. Not going to be dove on by the enemies, but they do have the channel available. I think it's going to be Murden was rotating down. Munkus is going to be trying to pick this up, but going to be taking some damage. Janap going to be diving in as well. Munkus is going to be returning the fire, and that is going to be a dead Worgen. They get the kill onto the Greymane. Munkus is going to go ahead and try and get on this as they just get Kel'Thuzad stacked up a little bit further. Top lane going to be held over by the Yrel at this point. Mig is getting out with just under 200 health. We do have a drop from one of the members at this time, so let's go ahead and pull up some talents for some damage numbers. Okay, I took a sip of tea because I needed it, and we're trying to improve Keys, so we made him a bot. Dang. But then he tried to rejoin, so we paused. Okay. All right. Fine. That. But yeah, really quickly. Oh, also Broiled Beef, thank you for the raid on top of that too. Welcome to everyone from Broiled Beef's stream as well as One Mega Man Fan. We are currently in a bit of a pause as we did have one of the members drop here. Figure out what's going to be going with that. I cannot talk in the chat and ask them anything because there's currently a bug that will just crash the client. There hasn't been an update. I was thinking earlier, I was like, man, I should really just test that and see if it's actually going to be dropping continuously. But the thing is, there hasn't been a patch to the game, so I can only assume that it hasn't been fixed. It's so hard to get early game DKs. Don't even try for it. All right, so the teams are ready. Let's go ahead and pull this back. Right. All right, we are back into this. I like that we got a countdown from 5. That actually gave me a little bit of time to swap all the scenes back over because I was just like, oh, I'm not prepared. But this is going to be the top lane held over by Sheepfu at this time. Mid lane is going to be defended, and bottom is going to be just held over. No big advantages just yet for either team. They're going to go ahead and grab the siege camp on the side of Beast Coast. This is just going to be the camps picked up. Lane's going to be pressured out. Top lane going to be chased out. Mig is a little bit low, just trying to make sure that they hold this over and deny any sort of capture onto that top lane so they can maybe get the Dragon as quickly as possible. But with Mig so low, I don't think they're going to be able to do too much there. What is this camp attempt? Every part of it was confusing. Dang. Calling it out. All right. Bottom lane still being held over. No pressure just yet. Camp going to be cleared out. Currently going to have a dive in from Lithorian onto Key. They get the... oh my god, the Black Soul Stone stacks, but Linkin Park a little bit low here. Going to get zoned away by that Blizzard. They continue to hold out bottom. Sears is going to be hit with one of those chains from Kel'Thuzad, who's actually sitting at 23 out of the 30 phylactery stacks needed. Murden sitting at 16 out of the... I want to say it's 20, if I'm not mistaken, for the baseline. Jaina sitting at 16 out of the 20 necessary for the Fingers of Frost, and only sitting at 3,000 for her baseline stacking. Diablo has full souls, and Decker Kane sitting at 8 for that Scroll of Identify. As we look at Lithorian, trying to set up for that angle onto one of the members. They get the danger pings out. They know that that Diablo's there. Top lane going to be contested between these two once again, pulling onto a couple of these members. And the nice thing with this is, while this is all happening, Leo Rice can continually throw out these chains, throw out these roots, and just continue to stack up slowly but surely and get to those full 30 stacks and really start to pop off here. Stormbolt going to be going on to Sepulgo. That Jaina's in a little bit of a bad spot. Drops the Blizzard to stay safe. They're going to go ahead and get another chain out. Not going to be connecting. But the heals are going to be coming out onto this Diablo, and it's going to be absolutely perfect because that full stacking that they have. No one to be able to pick up the Dragon Knight, but 10's achieved just about the same time. We'll see 10s for both teams. Nothing too out of the ordinary as we have another DC from the Stukov. We're going to be seeing if this is going to be another pause. Munkus is going to be dove in on, and that is potentially a kill, but Phoenix is actually going to be falling in the top lane. Currently going to be having the Diablo is going to be peeled taking a bunch of damage from them as he's just standing still. But Jaina gonna get that Ice Lance out at the last second. Stukov is a bot and is going to be falling. And that is the worst time to become a bot again. Sheepfu going to be sitting in this lane over here, seeing if they can just catch someone out in the rotation, just also making sure that they continue to get the soak. Not want to lose out too much on levels here, as this is going to be the Bruiser Camp in bottom, picked up in favor for the members of Beast Coast. A bug in Hots? No way. Oh, cap. All right. We are going to be getting another pause. I was like, it's going to happen. I am waiting for the pause. Yeah, it looks like they are still a bot, so we will just hang out. How's it going? Welcome back to the pause screen. Jaina's really behind on quest. I agree with that. Especially being in the four with all four members in the bottom lane. But now I will say this, sitting at 8 minutes in the game, sitting at 7,873, it's fairly good, just over halfway, so slowly working their way into this. Currently have 22, is it 25? It's 25, I thought it was 20. We do have the Phylactery stacks, or the Master of the Cold Dark. Kel'Thuzad will be fully stacked on those. That huge buff to their spell power. Let's go ahead and get ready to get back into this game, as it looks like the teams are ready both. We'll get a countdown in just a second, and then we will get going back into this game. All right. Heroes rejoin the game. JTR Hots, you are correct. I try and just like quiz myself here and there, and just like oh, it's 20, and then I check eventually. I'm just like, no, it's 25, and then I'll never remember it because there's too many questing talents that I need to memorize all the numbers for. No connection into the Dragonite just yet. They continue to push in this bottom lane. Urel's going to be holding that top lane, peeking back up there. Sheepfu going to be trying to work their way onto Mig here. We'll see how that works out. But bottom lane is where all the fun is going to be breaking out, as we actually have the Lightning Breath coming out, but being stopped right away. So I think there was a silence that actually interrupted. But there is like a window before you actually go unstoppable that you can interrupt the Lightning Breath, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they got that, or it was just canceled from button mashing. I'm not sure. This is currently going to be bottom held over. Phoenix going to be in that mid lane, making sure that they are available. And I want to note this too. I was thinking about this earlier. Having Phoenix in the solo lane, the whole Purification Salvo idea doesn't really work out, so I like this, that they actually have the Planet Cracker at this point. You can utilize it to literally beam through the entire map and go ahead and just even deny Dragonite pickups here, as we currently have a huge brawl breaking out down here. Lincoln, and this is the the Planet Cracker coming out and just zoning Lincoln Park away from the team. They're currently gonna go ahead and get the stun on to Lothorian. That will be the Lava Wave coming out into the mid lane. No Sulfurous Smash from the Ragnaros. Currently going to have an overpower onto Lincoln Park. The chain will be going out onto a couple of these members. Oh my god. If Kel'Thuzad just gets one big combo, especially with that Shadow Fissure, that's just going to be game over for one of these team members on the side of Beast Coast. But they have the availability for the Dragonite. Thorny a little bit low here. Going to get silenced, and that is the kill that they need. I drank way too much tea during that last little break that we had. But those stacks being taken away, that's huge. That opens up a lot of windows for them. Gonna get some damage out. Murden gonna be trying to get a Stormbolt as well. There is the pick onto Deckard Cain. That is a huge one for the members of 104, as they continue to try and hold out these lanes. Mega's going to be trying to jump on, is going to be jumping on this point to deny the pickup onto the Dragonite, and I think they know that, so they just go ahead and they say, you know what, that's fine. We will just go ahead and continue to just soak up these lanes. 13-13, 5-4 in kills. Fairly even. It's a fairly even game here between these two teams. About a 600 experience difference between the two. Jaina, though, being rotated into the top lane. I'm curious to see if maybe they're going to try and bait out Sheepfu and then maybe have Sipago just maybe get some burst damage, but gonna be scouted by that minion wave, so they're just like, all right, well, this isn't something I can do by myself. The ping for the friendly teammate is going to be already rotating up at this time. And Sheepfu will they'll go ahead and hold over this lane. Bottom lane is going to be where our breakout in the fight is going to be, and that is going to be that Shadow Fissure coming out. The Unstoppable is used from the Diablo. They go ahead and get the Lightning Breath out as well, but Linkin Park going to be popping. The Avatar form going to be staying alive for just a few more moments as they go ahead and get that pickup onto Murden, and this is going to be a bit of a hard defense as I think they're actually just going to be pushing into bottom lane. Mid lane will be going ahead and getting the Lava Wave treatment. Going to have the chain going out. God, that chain just lasts like forever. No one actually being connected to with that chain as they go ahead and they'll push out into the bottom lane a little bit further. Gonna go get a little bit of a burst onto one of the members. That is also going to be the silence there as well. No Shadow Fissure used. That would have been the blow up they needed on Monkus there. Murden, though, will be back in just a moment. Currently beginning having this eternal battle between these two. 14 to 15 though in levels. We're starting to get a little bit closer in that range for the members of Beast Coast to hit that 16 range, and Jane at 16? A little terrifying, not gonna lie. The other thing is just to quickly note through, Decker Kane's still working through that level 1 questing talent, as well as Stukov. Diablo sitting at 39 out of the 100 stacks necessary for the Black Soulstone Revival. And Jaina has finished her Ice Block, if I did not note that already. And they're just going to be rotating around the map at this point, grabbing some camps, creating pressure. And I just also want to note, we haven't gotten a Dragonite. This is still the first Dragonite phase here for these teams. A little bit of a brawl in this top lane, and I keep peeking up here. I'm just like, maybe one of them will get a good fight into the other and get that pick, but not since that early game. I don't think it's going to be happening. Go ahead though. Going to peek back into bottom lane as they're looking for the setup here. 16's achieved for the members. What is that trying to set up here as they actually get the chain out on the Thorian? I don't know if it connected. Lightning Breath going to be coming out as well. That will be the Shadow Fissure coming out on top of Diablo. Flailing Swipe will be there just to try and keep them away, but it won't be enough as that will be Kel'Thuzad falling. Key still alive, looking for the pick onto Diablo. Linkin Park will be going ahead and confirming that. They will be getting the Planet Cracker coming out, but Murden actually going to be getting picked up by the enemy minion wave. They'll go ahead, push down this bottom lane, and this is going to be a fort in favor for the members of Beast Coast. Meanwhile, top lane, going to continue to have Phoenix up here. I don't think Phoenix has really left top lane. Going to get onto this point. I don't think they'll get the channel onto it because Sheikfu is going to be coming up here and really just putting some work into them, but also denying this with as much as possible. Meanwhile, bottom has been capped. They could go ahead and make a quick rotation here, and you can see Key trying to do that. The only thing is, the channel's there. First Dragonite's picked up. Shadow Fissure just a second too late, and they don't get that poke. They go ahead and grab this first Dragonite on the side of Beast Coast, and it's 14 minutes into the game. You can see this thing already chunks. They waver for that bottom lane, and they're like, no, we're going straight to mid. And actually, we're going to sacrifice our Ragnaros? No, Monkus is going to be able to get out there just fine. I was like, that's a risky spot to be in, but they want to create some catapult pressure in bottom. Really quickly, just going to poke up at this. We currently have Sheepfu and Big in this, just still battling in the top lane forever and ever. Shadow Fissure coming out. Sears is going to be blown up. That is going to be the Decker Kane actually getting killed by the Greymane, stealing that kill from the Kel'Thuzad. But they still have Dragonite, and they want to pressure this as much as possible. It's a little risky here, though. They're stepping a bit far forward. That will be the Ragnaros picked up as well. And this is the thing that I was going to note, is that they may have the Dragonite, but they do not have a support, as Suppagoat is going to be getting out of here, but I don't think they're going to be making it alive, and that is going to be another kill in favor for the members of 104 in this chase. Cheap Food looking for the knockback onto Phoenix to deny the warp, but it's not going to be happening. Here's the thing, though. There's not much on this map. There's one camp available, and they're currently on it. I don't think they make the rotation onto this because it's I wouldn't say a hard rotation, but it's the timing, their outs and their ins for it. It's just they basically have one in and one out, and it's kind of just this cycling path right here. They can either funnel in one of these ways. Meanwhile, you have the bridge for the friendly team. So, not taking that camp, smart move. They'll just go ahead and post up for the siege camp in the bottom lane. And they'll just also go ahead and confirm the fort in bottom as well. And one thing I didn't talk about during this game is the importance of actually taking out wells and the importance of top lane fort and bottom lane fort. Going past the fort and top lane, typically we don't see a lot of teams do because there is the notable death bridge. And fighting on this is pretty much suicide. You get flanked from the enemy team. You get one good Deckard Kane, Lornado. Say goodbye to your team. They'll just get pushed into that gate and smooshed. So we often see prioritization on this bottom lane and top lane fort, and as well, because that is just the sustain being taken away from that map. Mig, though, at this time, going to be pushing in a little bit more, not going for the pressure onto the well, but that's the one thing that I do harp on for a lot of teams to prioritize is this well, and not being able to sustain in the lane, being able to tap the well and go right back into the shrines is really important for them, because the fact that you can then defend it. At this point, bottom lane, it's a rotation to a keep for both teams to go ahead and try and get their well, and that's a long time being out of a fight. And so that my whole point is it offers a lot more opportunity for the enemy team, but fairly even between the two. Shrine's going to be activating for the second Dragonite of the game. 17 minutes into the game here, 19 to 19, the cusp of 20 for both. We're going to see who's going to be picking it up first and who's going to be pushing the advantage. Camp in the bottom lane is available. They're not going to be going for it. Excuse me. 104 is not going to be going for it. They go ahead and just rotate into their mid lane. Urel in that top, continuing to pressure with the Bruiser Camp that they picked up a little bit ago. Bruiser Camp at the bottom going to be picked up, and they're posturing. It seems like they're posturing like as if they were going to pick up the Dragonite. I don't know what 104. I don't know what their rotation is at this point. Are they just looking for the clear onto the waves as a 4 stack so they don't lose anyone? The best guess that I have, but this will be 20s achieved for both teams. And I don't know what this is. Okay. I was thinking that it was just the infinite Shadow Fisher, like just over and over again Shadow Fishers. But that will be the Hellgate coming out from Lotharian. That'll be the root down from them as well. The Lightning Breath getting so much value. That slow is going to be so useful for Mig to go ahead and get that Planet Cracker. They burst down the Kil'Thuzad. That's a lot of good value for them as they have this Lava Wave coming through bottom lane. He needs to get out of here as they dodge the Lava Wave. Meanwhile, the Linkin Park trying to just do their best, as that will be the bolt coming out from Jaina as well. Just making sure they get it out there alive. And the question is, do they try and end off this? 40 seconds on the Kil'Thuzad. Ragnaros does not have Molten Core. Didn't take heroic difficulty either. Took that second lava wave, so going to be able to throw a second lava wave soonish. I can only guess, but Lotharian's in a really bad spot. Able to get out of here just fine. They've got a couple potions out from Deckard Cain. Maybe catch a couple in their rotations out of here. But overall, a great pressure and a great pick for the members of Beast Coast. Tootie Moss, thank you so much for the auto host, bringing all of your friends over here. Welcome everyone. We are currently in our game 2 between these two teams, and following this we are going to be having a Storm Division matchup. So lots of heroes on the way this evening on this channel. Don't go anywhere, as we have both camps being picked up here, 20 to 20. Bottom lane, or top lane, though, going to be picked up. Ragnaros is going to be in the perfect opportunity for this. I don't think they can make the rotation quick enough, and that is going to be the second Dragonite of the game going over in favor for Beast Coast. Beast Coast transforming to what they are, and they're setting their sights through bottom lane. 19 minutes on this Dragonite. Rice does not want to get caught out here. Jane going to be going out. Diablo trying to push themselves a little farther forward. That actually pulls them in, but that is going to be the Planet Cracker getting the kill onto the Kil'Thuzad once again. Dan OP getting really low here. Going to have to run through a lot of that. Lotharian trying to move up a little bit more. That is going to be the Hellgate getting the stop there for a second. The Unstoppable is used. There is the Lornado, but unfortunately there's no one there for it. Meanwhile, in the backline, I think Murden getting taken out by the Phoenix. And with this many dead and Dragonite picked up, this is starting to look like the core call that they need. The GG's come out, and it looks like Beast Coast is going to be taking game number 2. GG, well played.